Hey guys, it's Caleb with 10army.com. I'm here to bring you some updates, some long-awaited updates. So let's talk about pricing, what's happened in the market. I'm going to be looking at my screen, so I won't be looking at the camera, so I can kind of read off some of these items that have fluctuated in price. So I'm just going to throw this out there as a blanket statement. Just about every single item in the game has dropped in price because of each area now, because of basically T4s, because of Tower 4s, everything has dropped. Since each area isn't so saturated with items, it's easier to get them now. So you don't have to farm as much. Like for example, the T3 survivals and defense, to get those items, it took forever. Even T2 survivals and defenses took forever, because the items in those towers as rewards were super saturated. They were like 10 items per each one. So I mean, you would have to put in like 40-50 waves, or 40-50 minutes in survival, or go wave 40 or beyond multiple times just to find an item. And sometimes people would spend 5-6 hours trying to get it, and they wouldn't get it. So that's why the prices before accommodated sellers a lot better. Like before, we were selling the Boltor Prime blueprint and the Rhino blueprints for really good platinum, and now since they're a little easier to get, they've gone down in price. So as a result, you're going to start seeing a lot of prices drop on the website. So just be aware of that. So with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and start at the Prime blueprints. I think that's where the majority of people spend their time. With the new items that just came out, the Loki Prime, the Bow Prime, and the Worm, we've got some new interesting items to work with, to buy and sell. Right now what's doing really well is the Loki Prime systems and the helmet and the Bow Prime handle. I think they dropped from tier for survival and defense. So those are doing really well right now. The new items that just came out, they're in high demand. Everybody wants them, and they're good. I mean, the Bow Prime is the top weapon now, and Loki Prime, I mean, everyone's been a fan since he's come out, so he's really fun to play. But however, the Worm has just dropped off the face of the earth. When it first came out, we were selling them pretty good. We were selling them as you would expect in 90-80 platinum. But then as of this week, it just plummeted again, and it's tough to get 20 platinum now. We do have the occasional person that doesn't trade a lot, so they still buy high, but we don't put those prices on there. We try to get what the majority of people buy and sell for. So a lot of these prices on here are what a buyer and seller would both deem as fair prices. So if, for example, like the Loki Prime handle or the Loki helmets, we're still selling them now for upwards of 100 platinum. It takes us longer to find those deals, a lot longer to find those deals, but it's worth the wait. Are we going to put them at those prices? No, because they're 10% of our sales. They get that high. So we try to get whatever number that we sell for the most. We'll try to average that out. I think it benefits everyone. So those items are hot right now. Actually, speaking about hot items, we released a top 10 most wanted items on the sidebar of all the price lists. We're probably going to add another couple of lists on the right side on the sidebar that are going to be talking about ranked 10 mods and how much they cost, and what else? Also the Tetra Mods, the set mods. All of us right now are we don't really want to release the mods, the cost of the prices of the mods for the fire sets, because they're everywhere. We've sold them. We just bought a whole bunch of them the first couple days for 20 to 50 platinum. I mean, we bought really low for whatever reason. We were able to buy them, and a couple of us turning them over for 250 platinum now. But it's kind of it's everywhere. And if we were to post up 250 and you're getting them for cheaper, or you're selling for 600, there's just too big of a gap, within hundreds. that we don't feel that the market has settled down in order to put those prices and make them available. And plus, we don't know if update 14 there are going to be new bosses and they're going to drop. So if they drop, then if we post them at a couple hundred and they're dropped by mobs, they're going to be 15 to 20 platinum all of a sudden. So we don't really want to go ahead and do that at the moment, but keep that in mind if you're looking to buy and sell those, that they might drop from any kind of content that's released with update 14. So don't sit on them too long if you're planning on sitting on them. Moving down the list of Prime items, unfortunately the Rhino Prime chassis and blueprint are a little easier to get. I say a little easier because there's just not a saturated drop table now. They still do drop on T3 Exterminate, I think, is a blueprint, and what is it, Defense or Survival for the chassis. I think it's Survival. So it's still on the harder missions or the missions that take longer to get the item, but it's just less saturated. So it's a lot, well, I shouldn't say a lot easier, but it's easier to get the item. So you'll see the prices reflected. They've dropped. I think that's it for that. The only item that, as far as the worm goes, from the new items that we've still been able to consistently sell for okay amount is the Wine Prime, the Carapace. For whatever reason, I don't know why that one still sells well. It sells better than the systems. I don't quite understand that one, but you'd figure the T4 would sell more, but that's not the case. So that's what's going on with the Prime blueprints. I think the biggest changes besides the Prime blueprints are the stance mods. Those have been jumping around everywhere. For whatever reason, I'm going to talk about the Crimson Dervish stance. That, I don't know why. There hasn't been... Crimson Dervish is, I believe, hammers. I'm sorry, not hammers, swords. So I don't know it would jump in price. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of want to buy, want to sell, and we've actually sold a bunch of Crimson Dervish for upwards of 50 platinum, and we have no idea. Maybe because people are trying to farm the new claw stance, and in doing so they have found some Crimson Dervishes, so you're trying to sell them, and now there's more that are being tossed around in the market. So we're thinking that's why the prices have gone up, but we're expecting in the next 2 weeks to see that settle back down. So these last 2 weeks have been pretty good with Crimson Dervish. So if you're looking to pick one up, I would wait. If you're looking to sell now. Gleaming Talon has also dropped down in price. Our guess is because everyone's so focused on the Bow Prime, getting the stances for that. So with that in mind, Flailing Branch has actually jumped up in price. I think it was like 8 to 10 plat. So it's a good jump, probably because everybody wants the Bow Prime. So we're liking the jump on that one. We don't, however, like the Gleaming Talon drop. So we're hold on to that to sell. Wait for the price to jump back up, because it's a hard mod to get. You can't desecrate the Osprey, so I would definitely wait on selling that. If you're looking to buy them now. They're cheaper than they in our opinion, than they should be. Another mod that has dropped significantly, where is it? The Grim Fury. They now drop. There's a lot more power fists, so it's easier to get. Before we'd sell them for 19 to 25-ish in that area. Now we're under 10. I mean, don't get me wrong, we do get the occasional person that doesn't know that, and we'll still sell them for 20, 25. But the majority of people know that they drop off the power fists, so around 10 plats is your best bet. I mean, always try to get the best deal. Obviously, don't settle for an average. Try to get 5-10 plat above and haggle your way down to the average. But it's just not where it used to be. The new mod, Malicious Raptor, that thing is crazy. I mean, it sells like hotcakes. You're seeing them as high as 200 and as low as, let's say, 60 platinum on average. We picked up a couple from people, I guess, that didn't know, for like 15, 20 for whatever reason. We don't understand why. We would never recommend anyone selling them for that, but we actually did get a couple sales for that. But I think the average right now is what we've been selling them for is about 80 platinum. That's kind of like the consensus. Everybody wants to sell them from anywhere from like 70 to 100. We found like that 80 is a good sweet spot for now. We do expect that number in the next couple weeks to start slowly diminishing as more get into the market. But it should be good for the next 2-3 weeks at least, minimum. We shouldn't see too much of a price drop. The same thing happened with, what is it? What's the other mod? Tranquil Cleave. When that thing first came out, same thing. 100 platinum, 150, 80 platinum, and 3 weeks, about a month later, it all dropped down to about 30-ish. And about into the second month, you can start picking them up for 24 platinum. So if you want them now, if you want to play with the claw now, go ahead and drop that 80 platinum, 100 platinum. But if you're willing to wait a month to play with the claws, then you can pick them up for less later on. Your call. And I think that's pretty much the major ones that have changed. I think we've covered the big ones. Everything else is kind of just slowly dropped in price. No really huge jumps noticeably, like in pistol mods or rifle or anything like that. But I will touch on the Tetra mods for the pistol, the rifle, the shotgun. Those are all those prices have been released. We've gotten enough data. We feel comfortable with releasing that. The market's pretty steady on it. So that information's out. You guys can check that out. And I think I covered pretty much everything that was updated. I just want to let you guys know, I think I said in the last show, we had a couple of people that are helping moderate the prices, but we would like to get some more help. I think I mentioned that we had 8 people now working with us, but we'd like to get that to 10 to 15. And if you play PS4, we only have 2 people right now gathering data, and we won't release price lists until we have a significant amount of data. We have a Google spreadsheet where every one of the moderators inputs their prices, and then it gets the average. It calculates the average of all of our prices. So if you'd like to be a part of that, message me. It's calebrees@tennoarmory.com, or you can contact any of the other moderators, and we'll give you a link to the spreadsheet if you'd like to join us, and you can just post your information there and help us out a lot. So thanks guys for watching. If you have any questions, drop in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.